Big time nighttime pools and great racing always at Los Alamitos, with huge early pick four pools at the track of Sunsets and Stars, with 190,000 on May 2nd and a late pick four pool of nearly 160,000. Our pick six promo pool was a season high of over 88,000 on Sunday, May 10th. Don't miss our next great night of Futurity trials for the Grade 1 Ed Burke Memorial Futurity on Sunday, May 31st. Big time nighttime pools and great racing always at Los Alamitos.
And welcome everyone to the Los Alamitos preview show. It is the weekend of the Ed Burke Million Futurity. We've had some interesting weekends here in Southern California. Last week, certainly one of them. After canceling Saturday, everything seems to be back to normal here in the Southern California area. Very happy about that, and very happy to have the entire panel here at Los Al. Chris Wage, George Duarte, Michael Wrona. Michael, it looks like you're at the FanDuel studios ready for a big shift, right, tonight?
Yeah, working alongside Nick Hines from 5 till 8. So as we record on a Friday afternoon, here I am in one of the conference rooms at FanDuel TV.
Excellent. And George, I know you worked really hard with 12 trials. Lots of glances, and because we have the Ed Burke Million Futurity trials here at Los Al on Sunday night. Tremendous Sunday card. 12 trials. Like I mentioned, 108 horses. We're going to have 3 pick fours on Sunday. Early starts on race 1, the middle race 5, and the late pick 4 on race number 9. So really, really quickly, what stood out overall from that whole package of doing all these glances? Any one thing that maybe stood out to you?
There were some races where it was hard to pick a horse. It was hard even to pick second and third. I mean, there's some really contentious trials, and that's what you want. You want multiple horses that can win. You want multiple horses that can run second and third, and you have that. And I mean, this whole weekend is really good. It's the best card in California, the weekend cards in California. We have 22 races, average field size of 8.2, so that's really good. And I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, my pockets are a little heavier, not lighter after this this weekend, because there'll be a lot of opportunities, and hopefully I can be right in a few of them.
Like you mentioned, 10 races on tap for Saturday. First post will be 6:10 p.m. here for that Saturday program. And with the 12 races on Sunday, first post for that Ed Burke trial night is going to be 5:45 p.m. Our last race goes just before 10 p.m. there on Sunday night. Chris, not only do we have a tremendous night of trials on Sunday, Remington Park with a really strong program on Saturday. The Debbie Schaff, the Heritage finals taking place. In the Debbie Schaff, Impressum is going to be headlining that race, as well as several other horses that we've seen here in action at Los Al.
Yeah, it's a very, very nice closing weekend card, and you get any number of races. You got the Heritage Place Futurity that closes out the season. It's a great program to close it out, and we got some quality races from there also. 6 from Sam Houston and 5 from Delta Downs. So we're a simulcast full on Saturday. And, of course, we have our 10-race program on Saturday. It's a top-notch program. And then, of course, Sunday. How can you beat that? You got 10 races and bingo, bango, bongo, every single race. It might be 1 or 2, or it's 1 or 2 on the numbers. But you got some wide open races where I'm looking 3rd and 4th, and it's close. You could have some nice returns on that pick fours. So don't leave out one of those horses to save $12 or $24. It might cost you in the long run. So it's going to be some nice returns on the pick four and trifectas with some wide open races, horses with ability, with lots and lots of trouble that can finish as they get out of the gate.
Yeah, we'll get into those numbers for the Ed Burke Million Trials night. We also have the consensus, the very popular consensus. We'll kind of go over that a little bit as we close out the show and the second part of the show. I just wanted to bring up race number 5. This is on Saturday. And the reason I'm bringing up this particular race is, well, a couple of reasons. Number one, since we had the cancellation last Saturday, a lot of those races are coming back this Saturday. So we already went over those several of those fields. Of course, a few changes here and there. For the most part, though, a lot of those races stay solidly the same, except for this one. There's maybe one or two that are pretty different, but this one stands out. This group of 2-year-olds is a really nice group of 2-year-olds. And George, I think you called it one of the better maiden races that we've had this season.
Yeah, I mean, it's headlined by the big sail topper and 6 Cents, but Terrific Favorite was well regarded prior to debut, and it had some trouble. And Warm and Toasty, I really liked how he finished in his race, so he's going to have to earn this victory. I mean, it's going to go pretty fast. I expected to go in the 1560s, maybe 1550s, so he's going to have to earn it first off, on debut in this race.
Yeah, the 3 Terrific Favorite ran second, first out. Also, the number 7 Warm and Toasty, like you mentioned, finished nicely to run second to on NMN 1, 2, 3. But 6 Cents, the number 5 horse, 5 to 2 on the morning line for Connie Rosenthal's ranch. The sale topper at the Los Alamitos Equine Sale, $730,000 they paid for this colt, and if you look at that last gate work, man, is he oozing just a lot of talent from what I saw. Michael, you get a chance to see that gate work?
I did, yeah. There was a little mistake early, but clearly the horse is ultra talented, and the gallop out for each of the gate works has been tremendous. So there's a lot to be excited about. He's a late foal. He just turned 2 this month, so he's a little bit slower than a lot of the rest of the juveniles to get rolling this season. But it can all happen in good time for outstanding connections. The thing that really strikes me about this race, though, is that every other horse outside of 6 Cents is making his or her second, well, they're all males, his second career start. And all except the rail horse debuted at single figure odds. So they all took some money. They all have a license to take a step forward in their second career starts. And if you just feel like the hype, the price tag, the breeding, etc., might force 6 Sense's price down into an underlay territory, there's a lot of other ways to go. In fact, you almost are at the way I feel about the race, you almost single 6 Sense, or you hit the all button. I mean, that there's reason for just about every other horse in the race to move forward and be very competitive in this spot.
I actually picked them second, Michael. I'm pretty sure I took, trying to remember now, Terrific Favorite on top, followed by the 5, 6 Cents. George, from what you mentioned, it sounds like you took Warm and Toasty on top, right?
Yeah, I think I went Warm and Toasty and then Terrific Favorite for second.
Yeah, I'm just so excited watching the 6 Cents, the way that he just looks like the real deal. He looks like he's got it. But we've seen that experience. That experience does tend to be a factor, does tend to help a lot. So even if he doesn't win this race, I just want to see 6 Cents show something, because then these horses, the later in the year, that second part of the year, that's where they just go, and the development just continues. And you could just see, like Michael, you mentioned there was a little bit of a little tiny mistake at the beginning, but then from that point on, it was just such a good looking workout from that point on. So excited to see the 6 Cents. Just had to mention him in this race from Saturday. Well, let's go ahead and move on to the main event of the weekend. And that is, of course, the trials, the Ed Burke Memorial Futurity. We're going to go over the overall on all these races as part of the consensus, but just a few numbers to throw out there. 108 horses, in these trials. 33 of them have already visited the winner's circle at least once, and 74 of them have finished first, second, or third already during this young part of the year. So you're talking about almost 70% of all the horses in this set of trials have already hit the board, and every single one of these trials has at least one winner in there. And if you look at a couple of trials, I believe it was the fifth. Let me look back at my notes here. I know the last trial. In the last trial, 8 of the 9 have finished third or better. And that's one of the strongest trials of the night. And there's one other trial just like that where trial 5, 8 of the 9 have also all finished third or better. So, I mean that's like stakes quality already, right? When you have all those horses that have done well. Well, just very, very quickly, let's just take a look at some of what I thought were the big names. And please, if there's one particular horse that you really want to single out before we look at them briefly in the consensus, we can always go back to that race. So obviously, race number 2 is one of them, and that's because Contentious is back. Number 7, 7:05 on the morning line. Fastest qualifier to the Kindergarten Futurity. Unfortunately, he was not able to run in the Kindergarten final. New trainer, Paul Jones, now will saddle Contentious in this race. Irving Lara does retain the mount here. Michael, just by looking at the whole card, was he your standout performer? Was he your horse that you think is, if you were to rank him, most likely to qualify with the fastest time? Would he be one of them?
Yeah, I think she would be for the same reasons that we spoke of going into the Kindergarten final that ultimately she didn't participate in. But to overcome the trouble early and still be the fastest qualifier out of her trial to the Kindergarten speaks volumes for this undefeated, beautifully bred filly. So it's exciting to see her in an early trial to the Ed Burke on Saturday night. I will mention that Safety Up number 5 in the debut win on the 2nd of May was the second fastest of 4 2-year-old maidens that night, and just 0.1 slower than they clocked in an allowance for 3-year-olds and up. So plenty to like about Safety Up, a son of Golden Boy. But Contentious, I've got to think, will be the top choice for me. Probably 7/5. Pretty formful, I feel, for race 2.
Yeah, so if we're putting a marquee together, come and watch the Ed Burke Million Trials. The top name, the Brad Pitt, the George Clooney name, the biggest stars,
the George Duarte
Lawrence star, Contentious. Yeah, for sure. George, you agree? Same A-lister?
Yeah, she has to be. I mean, she was the fastest qualifier to the Futurity so far this season, and I mean, there's other ones that can easily topple her, but they have to prove it first. She's already proven it. Draws well in this race. I mean, I really liked how Safety Up finished. I mean, Jose Flores has so many good 2-year-olds. Yeah, he really responded to the urging, and added distance is only going to be helpful to him. So yeah, I think it's a 1-2 on those. And then if you want a trifecta, I like Boss Lane. I think she's the number 3 horse. She came out of a really good debut. I think almost every horse hit the board in their next out. And I thought she ran a respectable, after having been fractures and being having trouble in that allowance race against Zora V, who we'll talk about later. I thought she ran fine. So that's another one I would consider underneath and along with College Boy.
Yeah, Zora V, like you mentioned, Jesse's Dynasty, Boss Legend, and even the 4th place finisher. We'll probably look at that horse later because I know I picked the 4th place finisher as one of my top 3 horses because, like you said, George, this was a really, really strong trial. And Zora B, one of the few to have 2 wins already. I mean, Jacque is one of them. Call Me Candela. We'll talk about her next. Is another one. And of course, Contentious, a 2-time winner. Well, let's move on to race number 3 because that's another big name as well. If Contentious gets the big marquee, Call Me Candela might be right next to her on the left side of Contentious. Call Me Candela, of course, the winner of the Kindergarten Futurity. You might say I kind of got lucky there. You know, a couple of the big names did not run back in the final, but you can't take away the moment, right? That was her moment. That was the moment of Jose Rosario Alcala, the young 20-year-old, enjoying that incredible moment that I'm sure him and his family will never, ever forget. Chris, your thoughts on Call Me Candela, 925 from the rail?
Yeah, well, she's got my slightest edge in this race. She did win well. She won that affair. She got a little lucky, as you noted there, but she earned a pretty good figure of all factors, and she'd be my top choice. Slightly, I'm going to give her a little bit of a look there. The red line. This horse did run pretty well. Was a B- and A- worker in that second drill prior to the debut. Got a little fractures, bobbled and bumped both sides, but finished pretty well in kind of close quarters and blind numbers. But has a good look at the outcome. Unusual layout side has a look at to get a piece of the pie, and of course, my favorite genes is better than look there for Eddie Willis and Justine. So I gave a 1, 3, 9, and 7 there in race number 3.
You mentioned red line. There's another handicapper here who likes red line. George?
Yeah, it was almost my show pick, but I didn't make him a show pick. But yeah, I like red line. I really liked his work on March 21st. And I know you guys are saying she got lucky to win that race, but she was best there. Call Me Candela. I mean, you can only race against who's in front of you, and she beat him. The one thing that sticks in my mind with that one is I think how Flores said, in that interview back when we talked about the kindergarten, is like sometimes the smartest horses win, and I think that's where she was. She was a smarter horse, but I don't know if she's as talented because she is small. She's a hard trier, but I don't think these longer distances are going to be to her liking. I like the red line, and I like my favorite jeans. I thought she has ability. I like the breeding and the positive post switch. I expect her to run a lot better. And yeah, I agree with Chris on that.
It's like when Kawhi Leonard took the Raptors to the championship and beat that loaded Golden State Warriors team that was missing a couple of big stars. Hey, you can only play against who's against you, and Call Me Candela got it done, right? Michael, really quickly, any thoughts on Call Me Candela, that great story with Jose Rosario Alcala?
Yeah, we'll see if the fairy tale can continue for Jose Alcala. It's a great story, and it's noteworthy that Call Me Candela did win convincingly, clearly, from the rail 2 starts back. So post position 1 should be no impediment. But I'm going to try and beat her. I do want to see the Kindergarten Futurity final form proven. I have a question mark against the depth of it, the merit of it. There could be some underlays of a few horses coming out of that. And can she maintain that level into her 4th career start? So I prefer the idea of wagering on red line. I wouldn't mind throwing in the Diaz long shot, number 6, Dulce Luchadora, who has been swift enough in the mornings and gets from post 2 to post 6. I'd go shopping. I just need to see that Kindergarten Futurity proven to me. And it's also in the back of my mind that the horse I picked, with all that form around the finalists in the kindergarten, was it Getting Higher in a maiden race last week, who had finished 3rd on 2 occasions, and the only horses that had ever beaten her were 4 kindergarten finalists, and Getting Higher was very disappointing in that maiden race last weekend. So I just don't know. I've just got a query against all of that form line.
Yeah, very interesting the way that it sets up with Call Me Candela here. I guess the big plus is that she knows the rail and did win convincingly from the rail. Well, we only had two horses in the consensus that were the top pick by everybody. And one of them was contentious. Nobody was contentious on picking her on top. The other one came in race 4, Train of Gold B. Everybody picked Train of Gold B at the very, very top. What impressed you the most about this filly by Freight Train B, Chris?
Well, the morning preps were very impressive. A couple of B++ drills prior to the debut. Got a little fractures, broke well, and kind of drifted in, but was never asked to run a step and was just striding out very strong and galloped out very, very strong. So all my numbers, definitely the one to beat there in the finale of the early pick 4. The 8, Elevate, showed me a little something. Had a little trouble early and finished pretty well. Had a couple nice workouts until prior, got B++ and A-. So I gave a 5-8 look there. But Train and Go definitely the top one there in race number 4.
And same question to you, George.
I like Train of Gold B, but I think it's more for me. It was the field. That's why I picked her on top. There's nobody that really excited me that much. I mean, I really liked RL Cholo, and I did quite well with him winning the last time by a nose. But this time was just a little too slow for me. I mean, it's like I'm not gonna chase him, off that slow time. 12.3 at this time of year, he should have been going a lot faster to me. A horse that people liked at the beginning of the year, Checkberry Delight, has just disappointed. I follow Turf Paradise, and she had nothing for the winner. I mean, the winner did come back to win the Futurity, but I just didn't really like what I saw. They do remove the blinkers. Maybe that helps. But, I mean, she had no blinkers on her debut, and I just didn't like her finish against Jackie and Call Me Candela. Elevate took all that money on debut and was fractious and, had the trouble, but now gets another post draw that's better, slightly better, and could, a good jock upgrade in the Duarte and Nicasio. That's one to consider, but I mean, is that one I'm going to pick on top? No, I mean, the horse Train of Gold B did nothing wrong to me in that race. Looked good. Alamitos doesn't really try on debut. Should improve. He's training for his old connections back in the day in Rancho El Cabresto. And I'm pretty sure it's a homebred because I remember April Little Dasher for him. So, they have the connections. They're doing good. That's who I expect to win. I mean, will I be excited to bet the horse? No, but that's who I expect to win.
One of them, Checkberry Delight, the mother Blackberry Check, and I think I mentioned this before, won the kindergarten futurity. So you would have thought that at 300 yards, that would have been Checkberry Delight's big chance to do some good. So the fact that she comes in still a maiden, a little bit of a concern to me. Oh, let's go right to race 5 because this is where my handicappers get really busy, get to work here. The next 3 races, you guys are going to try to take down that middle pick 4 because you selected a horse in each of the next 3 races. We'll start with race number 5. And that was George off the bat. George, you have a selection in race 5. Who is?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna talk about the field. I mean, you first started off with, you said 8 out of 9, all hit the top 3. So it's a contentious field. You're gonna get a price. I don't think anybody's gonna go off that low a price. So I went, and there is that discussion we had about the kindergarten being weak. So Romoland might take a little too much money in this race. So I'm going with the other Jose Flores, and that's the 4 Flying Sintacha. Started her prep in Remington. Then they brought her over here, and her work was a lot better than looked. She came away well, got ahead of her workmate, and the rider just put a hold on her and just didn't let her do much. In her start on debut, she got bumped twice. Responded to urging. I thought she finished well, galloped out okay, but I think the goal, this ownership is for these trials. They're pointing at these trials. And one of the reasons that I'm really looking forward to this one is because Francisco Calderon flies in to ride, and he does not ride for Jose Flores. I looked it up. His only mount for Flores was she's just toxic in 2022. So it doesn't really ride for them. So if he's, I think it's more of an ownership call. They want him in there. So that means they think highly of their runners tonight for Sunday night. And I think they're going to run well. And I hope they start off good with the win with that horse. I think I'm going to get all of 6-1 because this race is really contentious. And I want to separate in this early pick 4 right away because I think they're going to spread. A lot of people are going to spread this race. It's a tough race. You're not going to So I'd rather single with the price than single with a lower price runner in these well-matched field.
Just a note on Pistol Whipping Posse. Many of you will remember the outstanding trainer, Cody Joyner. That's actually a group that he put together, Pistol Whipping Posse. So Cody Joyner is part of this group. Don't think all of them. He had another group that was all women that he also kind of helped put together. Him and his brother Justin Joyner. Justin Joyner actually had the horse here and may have qualified to a big race and maybe was involved in a shake and just missed out making maybe the $2 million, I believe, if I remember correctly. But that's Pistol Whipping Posse. That's Joyner that has this one. So there's where the connection with Francisco Calderon might be, that he might ride a little more for the Joiners back in New Mexico, Texas, etc., Oklahoma. Okay, so George's pick here in this race is indeed Flying Sintasha. And I think I put on the graphic that the graphic shows race 4. It should be race 5. And it's the 4. Make that correction here. It is the 4.
Yeah, that sire has limited starters, but has been doing really good. And I mean, they felt the need to breed her the Flying Fig. Who we all remember her. Anybody who's been a Los Al long time. Yeah. So it's a good breeding, and I think she's gonna run really well.
Okay. Again, race 5 is number 4, Flying Sintasha, the runner, and like you mentioned, Flying Fig, an AQHA champion. She pretty sure she made all the big races here at Los Al. Well, race number 6. Who's next? This is Michael Wrona's race.
Yes. Think. And the more I think, that's where I land. Number 7, whose debut was a real eye-catcher at 220 yards on the 9th of May, because this filly leaned back as the gate opened and broke in the air. Big late gain, and I think the distance increase to 350 is terrific for this Keith Nelson, Kristen Watanabe horse. I think can take out race 6.
Is this the same mother as Beautiful?
Think so.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, if you think about it, it is.
Yeah.
And the 9 horse as well. Better Again, Kev. Also a half sister here of Think. And when we were talking about the kindergarten futurity and the success that this mare has had, she's had several horses that have qualified, including Beautiful, that won the kindergarten and most recently won the Los Alamitos Oaks at 400 yards. So it's not a 300-yard kind of a breeding there. These runners can go farther. Corona Cartel, we know that his horses have success at just any distance. They're just fast and talented. So
yeah, the outside horse is the fool to Beautiful. Think is a fool to Butterlicious, who won six times and did compete at Los Al. So
I remember.
Qualified to the Golden State Million and then also the Ed Burke Juvenile.
Yeah, I remember her. So there you go. Definitely can this breeding definitely can handle 350 and even more from past runners with this breeding. So once again, just to recap, the middle pick 4 that our handicappers are kind of putting together here. We're putting Flying Sintasha in race 5, and then Think in race number 6. That leaves you, Chris, race number 7. Who's it gonna be with the slice of the pie selection, Chris?
I'm gonna give a look to the 2, Friend Indeed. This horse is Showing me some ability. Had been a little bit of trouble in both lifetime starts, but finished well in that last effort despite some trouble along the way. Broke a little slow, head caught sideways and skied a little bit, but finished very strongly under a hold, and a very impressive performance. Galloped out nicely. Had a couple of nice workouts prior to being a B+. So I'm going to give a slight look here to that horse. Bridgewater is the one that was the second fastest qualifier of the kindergarten. Wasn't available to go in the kindergarten, but the ability is there, obviously, and has a big look at the outcome. The one She's a Candy wagon prepped nicely and finished pretty well in her workout while in gradually, but I'm going to give a slight look there to Friend Indeed for Jimmy Glenn and the doctor. So a very impressive effort on my numbers last time. Won well with red left in the tank. So a nice little price look there with the Friend Indeed there in race number 7.
And in the race 8, just to kind of wrap up that middle pick 4 sequence, Zora V at 2-1. You have to think she's just going to be very, very tough. Look at that breeding favorite Cartel out of Moonlight Corona. That's the same breeding as Super Derby winner Norco, Grade 1 winner Circle City, the Grade 2 winner Nomadic. Just outstanding runners up and down the line here with this breeding. They paid $140,000 Valeriano Racing Stable for the outstanding Zora V. She broke her maiden easily against a group of maiden fillies at 220 yards with that really good time, 11.88. And I think that would have been faster or right there even with contentious 220 time when she broke her maiden. Remember, for a long time, she was the only one that had gone under 12 seconds flat. And Zora V, of course, this was her second out, went 11.88, then comes back and goes really fast as well, 15.70 against allowance runner in that allowance event that we have talked about. One thing that I wanted to ask, George, let me ask you that. Do you, when you see maiden races just for fillies, as opposed to just open maiden races, do you give more thought to the time? They better do it in a good time? Or does it matter?
No, I mean, the only time I ever do it is when I see reason to think that. Like if I see her when the form, that's like later on the form, when you see them, against males, they don't run as good, then maybe you can consider it. But we've seen fillies be world champions. We've seen them win everything. So, it's not really a concern to me until I see a reason for it to be a concern to me. Like I treat them all the same. The only thing you can maybe say is that it could be weaker because it is restricted versus open. But for the most part, early on in the season, the fillies usually run against the fillies and the boys usually run against the boys. So it's, they're both technically restricted, so they don't really run against each other unless they're in trials. So I don't really put too much into that, especially early on. When they're older, then that's a difference. Then it's different. Then there's a reason to, because you know how fillies tend to develop a lot faster than males. That's why they win the kindergarten more often than not. So, but later on in the season, that's when you can look at it.
We have to remember that fillies dominated the kindergarten trials as well, so they were super sharp, ready to go. Race 9, just one quick
Orlando,
note. Yeah.
Just before you move on to race 9, I've got a couple of things for race 8. I think this is one of the best trials of the night. I just want to mention that number 2, Faultless, is very unfortunate to come up with post position 2 again, as the horse had on debut. But this horse closed very strongly last time out for that debut second. The horse that won it is the shortest favorite, the lowest odds of any horse in the 12 trials on Ed Burgart's morning line. In race 11 will arrive eventually to Just One Famous Eagle. And Faultless, after closing strongly for second, actually galloped out, in my opinion, better than the very strong winner of the race, Just One Famous Eagle. So this is a horse that should be absolutely kept under notice and included on all tickets. Rational number 3 stacks up okay time-wise. And I'm going to give you my long shot bomb of the night for superfectors. It's unfortunate the horse has struck such a tough trial, But Cowboy Down Perry number 7 at 20-1 is worth using, at least in the superfactor slot, as a first-time gelding who's worked since his last start and worked much better. I think there's something there. He's got a knockout chance, at least for the trifecta and superfactor. And if it doesn't come together for him Sunday night, just keep him in mind if he comes back into a regular maiden, because his form doesn't look that good on paper, but I think he might be an improver.
Yeah, he certainly is. I agree with you wholeheartedly on Faultless. Follows, in fact, is my top pick there in race number 8.
Here's race number 9. Just one quick note on this one. The one, Lonely at Night. Many will remember her because she was part of that huge pick 6 payout from post number 2. Paid about $150,000 in that last race. And she is a full sister to 6 Stands There. Sorry, Chris. I didn't mean to bring back.
Yep. It haunts his dreams, and you got to bring it up.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on here. 10th race, Favorite Consent. E.G. High Desert Farms. E.G. looking to win the Ed Burke Million once again. They have several horses throughout the program. This is one of their best chances, I think. Favorite Consent. Of course, they won this race last year with just Favorite Hawk last season. No. They won it last year, and maybe I'm messing up the name right there. But again, it was the Ricardo Ramirez runner that they won the race with. Okay, moving on really quickly. Race 11, and this is the horse that you were talking about, Michael. 705, just one Famous Eagle, and the reason it's such a short price, that finish time 15:49 is the fastest by a 2-year-old this year at that distance, 300 yards, right, Michael?
Yeah, tremendous effort. Very sharp, strong debut. Doesn't get the best of the post position draw, but he's a scary prospect. Hard to pick against him.
Yeah.
And the E.G. High Desert Farms horse, it just came to me. I kind of combined the two names. It's Just I'm Worth It. Favorite Just Hawk was their standout the previous year, but Just I'm Worth It is the horse that won the Ed Burke Million last year for E.G. High Desert Farms. Did it from an inside post, if I remember correctly, or in the inner part of the track. Just one Famous Eagle, George. Just the big standout.
Yeah, I mean, I typically you don't see that kind of comment that I write where I put dominant, even though he only won by 3/4, because he just did it. I was really impressed with how he was moving. I've been waiting for a Cartel Just Rockin' to be really good, and I think this one might be it finally. I think they may found the right combination with one Famous Eagle. You know, the post draw is a negative, but I mean, he's super talented, and I mean, he's strictly the one to beat, which is a clean break. I mean, you know, Henry can't do anything wrong in the races that matter. So I have full faith he's going to run well. I mean, we're going to see if Jackie might be underbet if all the kindergartners start not running very well. You know, then she might get cold and float up because if Kami Candela loses and Romoland and all these others before it gets to that her race, she might float up at 7-2, and he might be even a bigger favorite. So that's going to be interesting how the wagering goes. And I kind of like the other Flores, Famous Cowboy U, more than her for second.
Michael and I had a conversation about that name, jaque. I said, well, in Spanish, jaque is part of the war when you're playing chess and you checkmate.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Jaque mate. But Michael and I have a future date to play chess at Burgard's at some point. Okay, race number 12.
How long have we known each other, Orlando? And it just came to light over a drink at Burgard's a couple of weeks ago that we both love chess.
That's
so,
right.
Yeah, that needs to happen.
He's never mentioned it. So that's news to me, too.
Yeah. The final trial before we take a quick break will be at race 12, of course. And there's the 8, Black Magic. Colleen Ledgerwood and Cesar de Alba, the connections. Irving Lara. How about Irving Lara with contentions and now Black Magic? She looks like a good one as well. George, you mentioned how they changed the name, and that little angle proved true.
Yeah, she did nothing wrong. She she overcame the trouble and finished really well. I mean, she accelerated okay, but the last final half of the race is where she really got into high gear, and she ran really good. They draw well. I like Cyber Eyes. I thought that was she's a hard trier. Overcame trouble on the rail. Then I have the biggest bomb I like on the card is See You When I See You. If you notice, they started off in Remington, and then 15 days later come and run here. So I think it was more of a let's just get a race over the track. It's basically like a work. And I thought she counted herself fine. 1591 is not bad. And now they have all this time to get her ready for this trial. So I expect her to outrun her odds, which I expect to be probably in this race, since it's pretty contentious. I think she might be 40-1. Wow. And that's not one I would leave out of my superfectas.
Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, just a very deep trial with political one as well, and as did CV FTDD Dynasty Shan also won as well.
That's Michael's favorite horse to call.
Yeah, mention all. You gotta count all those.
Bloody hell!
What
an awful name!
Oh, come on. We're going to say STTTTTT. Just wait till that one runs. STTTTT strong.
I've got one question for Chris, if we can just backtrack to race 10. What are you doing with Fenian Soldier, Chris? Because he was your preview show pick recently and finished last, but led the field around the turn in the gallop out after breaking from the rail. Are you going to be using him? Because the last place effort actually impressed me. I think he's got a lot of upside.
He certainly does. He was my previous show selection last time from the rail, which didn't work out well because he had a tendency to break in. That's exactly what he did, but he finished well on his own and he galloped out STT very strongly. And in fact, he was almost my previous show selection, and he's going to be my top pick. Blinkers go back on tonight, and it draws a lot better than that inside post. And if he just breaks and runs straight, he's got to look at the outcome. He wants every inch at 350 yards. So he's got to look at their nice morning line at 8-1. He's my price play in the racing card. So I'm going to give him one more chance to get a nice slice of the pie there.
He galloped out STTCVFDD Dynasty Shan.
And with that, we're
too much for me.
Yeah, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to say goodbye to George. George, your last thought before we say goodbye?
Demand value in your bets. And, I'm always say play the superfectas because they're all going to pay good. I mean, it's pick your spots this weekend. We have really good race cars, really competitive. And I'm looking forward to charting them and then wagering on them.
No doubt. Place to call will be the first 10 trials. We're going to take a quick break. And we'll come back and take a look at the consensus as we say goodbye to George Duarte. We'll be right back.
Big time nighttime pools and great racing always at Los Alamitos, with huge early pick four pools at the track of Sunsets and Stars, with 190,000 on May 2nd and a late pick four pool of nearly 160,000. Our pick six promo pool was a season high of over 88,000 on Sunday, May 10th. Don't miss our next great night of Futurity trials for the Grade 1 Ed Burke Memorial Futurity on Sunday, May 31st. Big time nighttime pools and great racing always at Los Alamitos.
And we are back, and this, of course, one of our most popular features whenever we have big trial races is the consensus here. We got 5 handicappers: El Principe, Chris Wade, George Duarte, Professor G, and Joey Quarters. They're the ones that put together their picks, and then the consensus is here. We might get a few bonus selections here since Michael is sticking around just to kind of go over them. But for the most part, there's usually a few surprises. But if you always play the consensus, they usually are right on it. Zionsville in the opening race, along with AG Majesty. It's pretty contentious there between the two of them. Professor G and George Duarte went with AJ Majesty, and the rest of the handicappers went with Zionsville. And Michael, did you have a preference in this particular trial, or are you kind of thinking the same? It's going to be those two horses.
Well, you confused me for a moment when you mentioned Contentious because she's in race
Yeah.
2. But I'll try Dios Dorado number 4, just for the sake of being a little different, thinking outside the box. The horse has had a little problem at the start and could move forward.
Race number 2, no disagreement there. Everybody picked Contentious on top. I still have a contentious feeling about how in the world I picked all those winners, and then Chris Wade and Joey Quarters come up to me and tell me that Chris Wade won last week's consensus. We gotta come to an agreement on how you guys are counting points, because I don't know. But Safety Up and Boss Legend, they both also were right below Contentions as far as the points. Chris, you went with Safety Up as the one to complete your exacta, right?
Yeah, my numbers. That horse ran very, very well and a pretty impressive figure. Galloped out very strong. So 7-5 there in race number 2. Rather handily on my numbers. So big look there in race number 2. Contentious definitely one to beat, but improving immensely with the second lifetime start. Will be Safety Up and could give Contentious a run for the money in the wire.
Yeah, Call Me Candela in race 3 ends up with the most points, 17 points. But Red Line, 2 handicappers. George put Red Line at the very top. You're completing your exacta, Chris, with Red Line. And if I remember correctly, you also give Red Line a chance, Michael?
Yeah, I'm happy to join George and make Red Line my top pick.
You all went with Train of Gold B, 25 points there. Elevate gets 8 points. I kind of agree with George as far as RR El Cholo goes. I think the horse has a chance to run a nice race there. Hard to grasp. Your top 3, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, the horse kind of a long shot look there. This horse did have some trouble in that affair, but finished, he back bobbled and skied, but he had a decent figure, kind of a long shot look there. And the horse had a B+ workout prior to the debut. So the ability is there to get a piece of the pie there and then that event.
Still Standing gets the most points in race number 5. And just a quick reading note on Still Standing, a half sister to Zionsville from race number 1. And that was a huge night. Remember that night, Michael, when this mare just kept producing winners? Remember the Rose?
Remember the Rose. Yes, that's right.
I think both of them won on the same night, and now they're both back on the same night trying to win a trial.
And Still Standing clocked the fastest of 4 2-year-old maiden wins that night. The final 2:20 split was fastest by 0.11 of a second, and it was just 0.05 slower than an allowance race for 3-year-olds and up. So I would need the 3 and the 4 on my team playing through race 5. I know George is picking number 4 for the preview show. Really tough, Flying Sintacha, but I've got a lot of respect also for Still Standing number 3.
In race 6, Think, and Jesse's Dynasty, almost right next to each other as far as points are concerned. 16 points for Think, and 15 points for Jesse's Dynasty. But Michael, you're on point with Think as your top selection. What can you refresh us again? What you like the most about this run?
Who's that down the left-hand column that's left Think out of the trifecta?
Oh, yeah, I don't know if he was thinking. That was El Principe, but we've talked about El Principe before. He takes some shots, and sometimes he gets right on the money. So, he likes to take some chances there.
Fair enough. I just like the ground that the horse made up on debut at 2:20 after leaning back and hopping out of the gate, broke in the air and did some strong work late in reasonable time. And I just love the distance increase. So I think the horse will be tough.
Yeah, so George, Chris and myself, we all agree with you. We all put think at the top. Race 7. This was an interesting one because Chris made Friend Indeed his show selection. And El Príncipe, myself, Joey Quarters, we went with Bridgewater to make her the consensus winner, even though Chris puts Bridgewater as his exacta mate to his show selection Friend Indeed. Michael, any thoughts on this race?
Yeah, maybe you get an extra line through Red Line in an earlier trial for Chris's horse Friend Indeed, because Red Line finished third when Friend Indeed finished second on debut, and of course Chris's horse has won subsequently. Yeah, I'd go to Bridgewater, I think, number 6. I know that she was caught late first try at 300 yards, but I don't think that was any disgrace because of how brilliant the performance of Contentious was, and Bridgewater still finished clear of the third horse. So I think she's okay at the 350 on Sunday night. Has a lot of early pace. So it's a pretty dangerous combination. I'd put the 6 on top.
Race number 8, George and I agree with Zora V. Chris Wade and Joey Quarter go with Faultless. And El Príncipe doesn't put Zora V or Faultless among his top 2. So another shot there from El Príncipe. He's going a little rogue here in this consensus. He likes AJ, your favorite, and Celtic Cowboy here in this one. We're going to go with Faultless. I actually put Faultless as my 3rd pick, but Zora V as my top pick. Chris, I got to give you credit, because you're not holding any grudges on Lonely at Night. You're picking Lonely at Night on top.
Yeah, I'm not going to hold a grudge. She won nicely. She beat me for a nice return, me and the boys, but still earned a pretty solid figure and did improve immensely from that first show, where she broke very slow with rank and was guzzled far, far back, but did improve from the first drill to the second drill, from a C to a B. And to do what she did last time, she can improve another step with another clean getaway tonight and have a big look at the outcome there in race number 9. But it's a wide open affair on my numbers.
When I play fantasy football or fantasy baseball and a player just goes terrible for me and he costs me a game, I drop him. I don't spike just because I'm mad. But not you. You go with it. So I like it. That's good. All right, race 10. You right there, Fenian Soldier, your top selection, Chris. George went with Perikina. I went with E.G. High Desert, Farm's Favorite Consent. Joey Quarters goes with Perikina as well. Michael, are you going with Fenian Soldier as well? Is that kind of what I gather then, as you mentioned him?
Yeah. 9th race, by the way, you can put me down for number 5, High Resolve. 10th race, I will go to Fenian Soldier as the top pick for reasons already discussed. And there's Golden Boy number 2 for exotics purposes, finishing second last time out when well fancied, beat the rest easily in a race that was run in fast time. The gallop out was good, and Rita's Golden Boy in shipping in from Remington had no local work, so could improve enough to at least be on the board. I like 5 and 5 over 2.
And by the way, Perikina and Favorite Consent dead heated for the consensus with the most points there, 14. Moving on to the 11th race. Man, what a tough, contentious affair there. And as far as the consensus is concerned,
How many of these trials has Contentious been entered in?
I know, right? It's the one of the days.
She's going to have a busy night.
It is. Well, it's a contentious night of racing. A lot of good.
Fair enough.
Just One Famous Eagle with 18 points, and Hake with 17 points. Very, very close. I picked Hake at the top. Chris, you went with Just One Famous Eagle. but I went with Just One Famous Eagle second. And Michael, you went with Just One Famous Eagle at the top. Right?
Yeah, yep, that's my horse for race 11.
And the 12th race, the final race, El Principe is decided that Black Magic is going to be upset and not be in his top 3. Everybody else picks Black Magic at the very, very top. But he does go with Cyber Eyes as his selection at the top. Luke trying to make this filly Cyber Eyes undefeated. She's won her first 2 outings. And again, she did qualify to the Kindergarten Futurity. Cyber Eyes did. Black Magic, of course. This will be the first time she's run in trials, but man, how impressive she looked in that race. And Michael, you call that race? She gets bumped around and she quickly recovers, and then just took off. Michael, an impressive victory.
Oh, tremendously impressive. Black Magic number 8 on top for me. And number 9, She Looks Fast, decent odds for exotics purposes. I'll make her the second choice. She was off slowly and slightly inwards, bumping with an outward breaking neighbour at the start of her debut. Put in a big finish and gallop out. And Cardanius is in town to ride these trials, and he'll get the leg up for James Gonzalez II. On She Looks Fast, I think she'll be coming down the outside into the minor placings. But Black Magic number 8 is the top selection.
20 points for Black Magic. Cyber Eyes gets 17 points in the consensus line to be the second choice here in race number 2. Well, that is a look at the consensus selection. That's a wall-to-wall coverage of the trials on Sunday night. Thank you so much to all the viewers there for sticking with us and going through all the trials. Hope it's very helpful. And we'll go ahead with the last word. Chris?
Great weekend of racing. Jiminy Christmas, we got 22 races, and amongst those, we got like 19 quarter-horse races, and it's a great weekend of racing. And it's going to be some nice returns. So don't save a few dollars on those big fours. You can go any number of ways.
Michael?
I enjoyed George's stat earlier of the average field size across the weekend. I'll have to revisit that, and might be worth you or I putting it out on social media. It's something for the track to be proud of. Should be a fabulous betting weekend, Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, every trial has nine horses in there, and like mentioned already, every trial has at least one winner in the field. My last word is come out early, enjoy the night of racing here at Los Alamitos, and then stick around for Burghart's and the happy hour after hour there at Burghart's. Who knows? Maybe you can root on Michael and I as we play chess, a thrilling match of chess there as well. Thank you, everyone, for sticking around, and we'll hope to see you at the races. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye, everybody.